Hello, everyone. My name is Apalak, and I believe this is our first broadcast of this year. So, very happy New Year to all of you, right? So, this year, I just thought of starting off uh, on a special note of Tech This Week. Today is not a breaking news, but it's about a piece of technology which has made a lot of news in the past year. So, I thought, let me dig deep into it and understand what deepfakes is all about. I'm sure all of you would have heard of this term. Probably you know what it is. But for those who are keen to know more, I just thought let me make an attempt to understand what it is, right? So, in fact, like I said, in 2023, deepfakes not only dominated news headlines but also became one of the most searched items online, reflecting a surging public interest and concern. But before we try to understand deepfakes, let's first understand why is it a sudden concern and what is the hype all about, right? I think you have to understand, historically, when we talk about reality or authenticity, what do you really rely on? Do you rely on your sensory things like what you see, visually what you're seeing, what you're hearing, taste, so on and so forth, right? There are 5 senses that we come into play. So when there's an aberration between what you're seeing and what you're hearing, that's where it gets risky. Essentially, deepfake does that. It seamlessly blends reality with fiction. So that is where the risk comes in. And as we know, deepfakes is one of the concerns that originates from the underlying technology of what the power of AI can do. Right? It can have great benefits, but in this context, when we talk about deepfakes, the chances are more often than not they have been used for some wrong reasons, right? Let me help you understand this with an example, right? This is a very, very famous example of Barack Obama. This is a deepfake, right? And it would be tough for one to argue whether this is the real one or this has been orchestrated. Just watch this.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or, how about this, simply, President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address.
So as you can see, right, like I said, it's very tough to differentiate between the real and the fiction. Now, if you look through the risk associated with this, here you have Barack Obama. So what they've done is they have, it's a fake audio clip. So they've taken a bite of his voice and they've made him speak, and it's not Barack Obama speaking, actually. It's an AI-generated audio that's been used. There are instances where you morph the image of the individual and somebody else, right? If you remember, if 10, 15 years back also used to have morphing. But thanks to deepfake, it's very tough to differentiate between what is real and what is not. In fact, if you've noticed, over the last, in India itself, we've had our esteemed Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. There was a deepfake in circulation where we see him doing the Garba, which the Prime Minister clarified that he's not done it for so many years. Then very recently we saw, Sachin Tendulkar. There's a deepfake that is circulating where he's promoting online video game and how his daughter is benefiting, which is not the case. And in fact, it's there on X platform where he's saying that this video is in circulation and it's a deepfake, and what are the risks associated. So, but you may wonder, and I think while it's quite clear and evident to you by now, but what is a deepfake? So, deepfakes are synthetic or doctored media that has been digitally modified and altered to effectively misrepresent or mimic someone, typically utilizing the artificial intelligence, right? So cyber criminals use facial mapping technologies to create an accurate facial symmetry dataset. They use AI to swap the face of person onto the face of another person. As well as this, as we saw in the Barack Obama deepfake, the voice matching technology is used to accurately copy the user's voice. So you are superimposing not only the voice, but also the image of the person. Therefore, the sensory actions come into play, and your mind is telling you what I hear is of the same person. Who I see is the same person. So how can it be a fake? Which is why it becomes that more riskier than the more traditional morphing techniques. Why should India be concerned? Because we are a country of more than 1.2 billion people with 800 million internet users. And when deepfakes are circulated, right, and a lot of bad propaganda can come through this. And in fact, come to think of it, 2024 marks a very special year for all Indians because we'll have the elections, the general elections happening this year. And imagine the profound impact of deepfakes can have if misappropriate information is spread through such deepfakes. How can we manage it? Currently, I'll be honest, as far as India goes, there's no dedicated law on deepfakes. And I think globally also it's a threat that not easily managed because identifying the originator of such videos and the first transmitter of deepfakes can be a big challenge. MeitY, which is the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in India, has identified a four-pronged approach of detection, prevention, reporting, and awareness. But I think how I see the analogy of deepfakes is like this. We know for a fact that a virus cannot live on its own. A virus needs a host. Very similarly, a deepfake would not be of any significance until unless it has a social media platform. So the deepfake is the virus, and the social media platform is the host. So therefore, social media platforms should have a content moderation system which quickly identifies and flags deepfake content in real time. Is it happening today? Probably not. Is it what we need to? Absolutely yes, right? The government also has emphasized, the obligation of platforms to promptly remove such content within 36 hours. So there is work on this. What's the debate forward? My points here is be digitally aware, be skeptical of what you see, right? Trust what you see, but verify what you hear. Just don't go blind on this. That's it from my end. Have a great day. Bye.